Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? How are you? Thank you for joining us today. I am Midnight Ace, your host today. And today I have alongside of me the masterminds behind this mystery suspense series called Once Upon a Murder. And guys, they are infamous for their Once Upon a series, right? They started us off with a wedding, then we had some babies. Then we had a funeral. And then we got a murder. And I got to tell you all that they went there with this one. They went there with this one. But before I introduce them for them, I want to just welcome a few people. Ola, hey, 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 how are you? Thank you for joining us. And JB, thank you for joining us. Okay, ladies, so let's get right into this because I feel like I have been an investigative reporter. I feel like I have brought all of my little boxes with all of my evidence and stuff in here, and I got it sitting right here. So we got a lot of ground to cover. So I'm just going to go in order of the release and have you introduce yourself for those 1.2 people who don't know who you guys are. Okay, so we're going to start with Sherelle Green. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi. um, so I'm Cheryl Green. I wrote The Secrets We Escaped, so that was my contribution to the Once Upon a Murder series. And I guess you could say I write grittier romances, edgy romances, romantic thrillers, romantic suspense, and dark romance, which is where I'm in my bag with that right now. Um,
Mm.
and I'm just happy to be here. We always love coming on the Midnight Ace Book Bar. So
Yes,
thanks
thank
for
you. Thank
having us.
you. Yes, no, it is certainly my pleasure. And then we're going to move around the table to Miss Angela Seals.
Hi, my name is Angela Seals. I'm the author of The Secrets We Inflate for Once Upon a Murder. I write contemporary romance, a little rom com, a little romantic suspense, and yeah, that's me.
And a wonderful you are. And then we're going to drop down a little bit here to Miss Cheryl Lister.
Hey, everybody. Cheryl Lister. I am the author of The Secrets We Break. I write contemporary romance, romantic suspense, and women's fiction. And yeah, like Angie said, that's me. And that's it.
And that is all. And a
For
wonderful
now.
you
For
are.
now. For
Yeah,
now.
for now. And we'll talk about like what you got coming next too. And then certainly but not least, we have L Wright in the house.
Hey y'all. I am Elle Wright, author of The Secrets We Hate. And I write contemporary edgy romance, rom-com, suspense thriller, and I'm looking to do more in the coming years.
Okay, we're gonna certainly be checking back with you on that. All right, before we dive right in here, I do want to say a big congratulations to El Wright and Sherelle Green. They just released El Wright just released it's not it's not them, it's me. I mean, it's not it's not them,
Not
it's
them, it's only
her
her.
released
Today,
on audio today. Correct. Congratulations on that. And Sherelle also released just recently, she released Riker's Last Salvation also on audio. So for
Thank you.
you audio fans, yeah,
Yes.
they getting them, they coming out. So congratulations to the both of you all.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
You are welcome. You're welcome. All right. So let's get into this. Now, let me just first say this, y'all. You know, I love y'all. Y'all are family. You know, I love you. But I'm going to tell you something. You ladies are some slippery slopes. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you, I always be creeping. I didn't know this was coming, had no idea. I kind of figured, Sherelle was being really quiet. I tap into Elle every now and then, ain't said nothing. Cheryl, she usually kind of posts some stuff, nothing. Angie, I leave Angie alone a lot, but nothing from her either, right? And so y'all come out here, and I'm gonna tell y'all, this has got, and tell me if I'm wrong, but this has got Sherelle Green and Elle Wright all over this little platform here.
That's
Am I
so
wrong?
funny you said that, because this was literally all four of us. It was not,
Okay.
it was, it, certain contributions were definitely all four of us. And it took us literal years, right, y'all, to get this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Years.
It's actually late to y'all, if we're being honest.
Right. I think
Right.
we thought we started talking about this, what, 2-3 years ago?
I think
Yeah,
it was
I
Okay.
went through
3 or 4
many
years
I think
ago.
we
iterations.
talked about it before
Yeah,
funeral. I mean,
it was,
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
before
yeah, we
funeral?
just it's
Mm-hmm.
it's morphed. It's morphed into
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to say this was probably like a pandemic baby. Like we were
I think
all,
so. I think
yeah, I
yeah.
so.
think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, and we, it's no secret we love doing anthologies, but we all had so many projects that it just kept getting pushed off, pushed off. So we were quiet because like we were slaving trying to get this done.
And I think we chose funeral because I think we instinctively knew this would be more intricate.
Yep.
And
Right.
so we waited until it was just the right blend of what we wanted for this particular series.
Mama told me.
Okay. Well, hats off again. Y'all did it. This was really great. I'm just gonna pause a minute to say it, guys. If you're just joining you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you joined us. You could be anywhere else on a Tuesday night, but I'm so glad you're here. Make sure you all crack that back door open so everybody else can get in when they come around. So we're just gonna say hello to a couple people. Mama Tony, hey. Miss Brenda Woodbury, hey. Erica, Romcom Diva, glad you're here. Shaniqua, I think I'm saying that right. If I didn't, I apologize. Charges to my head, not my heart. Thank you for being here, ladies. Okay, so it's a lot to cover. I hope you guys got these books. They've been out for a while now. I'm not going to spill too many secrets here because there's too many whys I have. So you're safe here tonight. But if they come back, you're not going to be safe. So get it together if you haven't read them already. Okay, so all right. So this is a little bit different for all of you all. I know that Cheryl Lister, you've done some romantic suspense before. You've done it
Yeah.
really, really well. And Sherelle, the whole Crown series and everything, that's always wrapped into some kind of mystery and suspense
Oh
and
yeah.
everything. Um, you've done some Elle, you've done some suspense too. You've dived into it really well. You've done it really well. And Angie, you have done a little bit, you peeked in there a little bit with that the royal series a little bit,
Yeah.
but nothing like this. So kudos for you, because you jumped on this train and you rode that train. Funny thing about you is, and you guys out there, y'all can agree with me, when you don't hear nothing from Angie for a while, but when she comes to the table with these series, she just gut punches you with that. You be like, wow, where'd that come from? And all of them have such these sweet personalities and everything, like real kind of not meek or mild or anything, but they're just real sweet. But dang, when they get between the covers of a book, it's a whole different ball game.
We blame, and we say the same thing about Angie, because we have to share what
Mhm.
we're working on in chapters and stuff. And
Yeah.
she'll say her 2 cents, say her 3 cents, say her 4 or 5 cents, but then she'll be quiet for a little bit. And then as soon as we have to share chapters, we're like, Angie, what is this? Like goes, she goes, and we all be engrossed in it. So
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
So I have to pick on you a little bit, Angie. So, and I'm gonna go around in order, guys, of the way they wrote the books, so I can keep it straight. I was gonna blame it on y'all, but it's really me. I got to keep it straight. But I do want to go to Angie for a minute because of your writing style, and you've told us many times you're a slow writer. But when you all come together and devise these once upons or these anthologies, what is it like for you? I mean, because you got a whole lot going on. So what do you do to prepare yourself to come, and then you do it so well?
Well, first, when they tell me about them, I'm like, oh, guys,
I know.
really? We just finished one. And then, but like they say, Once Upon a Murder has been in the works for probably since 2020.
Okay.
And we was tossing it around. I kind of wasn't, the ladies can contest to this, I kind of wasn't, I don't know, something was off for me. So we was like, all right, we'll step away, we'll revisit. And once that happened, we revisited a couple of years back. Well, we visit again, and then we was like, we don't know. Let's do funeral. And we did funeral, and then we did, bays. Of course, everyone knows about the bays. And then we revisited again, and then this time around, I don't know. It just, for me, I guess it's the right headspace. It just started clicking, and
Okay.
we just, I mean, it just started clicking. I don't know what it was. It took some years to wrap my head around it, but once I got it going, that's all it takes for me. Once I get it going, I'm kind of off. I'm
Okay.
off down the track with it.
Yeah, I can attest to that. So let's go back down here to Sherelle. So you're first up out of the gate with your story, and I want to say, were you the one that did the covers?
Yes.
Okay, the covers are amazing.
Thank you.
So just for your cover, Midas, I might slide him over a little bit because Sincere, the cover, not necessarily the cover, but it was the cover cuts off the part of his braids.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, so I'm going to print it out. If it's okay with you, I am going to print that picture out that shows his braids, and then I'm gonna set it up next up.
No, that's fine. That is fine by me.
Because I said, Lord, these ladies are going to have my husband really questioning my loyalty to him because when I put him up, when I get the books, if it's like Midas, he was sitting up here before, but then I took him down and I put him on the shelf.
No,
So
like, you have a cover type.
Yeah. So I don't know. I Midas's eyes, and I showed it to a girl at work before. She was like, "Oh my God, his eyes!" And I said, "Yeah, see." But anyway, when I get the books, they're gonna be facing. They're not gonna be in there. They're gonna be facing.
Oh,
But anyway,
I said we love that.
Yeah, no, the covers are really, really nice. And I want to say Sincere's his cover, the cover of him and his face depict the story. I mean, I could vividly see him as I was reading the stories.
Yeah.
And guys, anybody in the audience, because I'll go long with this, but if you have any questions, put them in here. If you've read the series and you want to know why something and I'm not asking it, please put it in the comments and we will have the ladies answer for you. Okay. Yeah, so Mama Tony is saying, I'm assuming she's saying that you guys took a long time for this to come out, and everybody was kind of confused about where you were going with that.
Yep.
Where the series was going with that.
No,
but now, okay. So here's the thing. So I want to know, and this is a common story, but I'm gonna ask it a little bit different, and I'm gonna ask you all the same ones, but I'm just gonna be a little bit different. So, Sherelle, I want to know, what was the ingredients? This is probably a 2 or 3 part story. So I want to know what the ingredients was that went into Sincere's character. Okay, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to know the inspiration, so you can kind of answer that together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to know, how did you pick his heroine? I mean, what ingredients did that person have to go along with him to match him?
That's a good question. So for him, mental health is a huge theme in my book. So I knew I wanted to write like this really strong character, one that's kind of sometimes misunderstood, but that also has these layers, especially dealing with mental illness and whatnot, that maybe people don't know when they first look at him. His friends have a certain view, but if I jump to the third part of the question with the heroine, I knew with Echo, I wanted to be someone he could be vulnerable with, but someone who also understood him. And it's like, I feel like with his mental illness, like leading up to the book, my husband actually had a huge part in this because he started taking me to, we have this cafe and like that actually talks a lot about hip hop and mental health. And so they're big on that in the Black and brown community. So for me, I went there thinking, okay, I'm just going to go get my coffee because if y'all know me, I love coffee. But I had no idea it'd be so many layers of people that are battling with other things. It's a whole forum where you can actually talk about things that you may be going through. They actually do have a therapist on site a lot of times. So for me, that was a huge inspiration between, like creating his character and also like trying to create like what type of safe space could he even have like in his restaurant like down the line, because for me I always introduce stuff and it's like it could definitely come up in a future book. So
Mm.
I was really careful about how I created that whole world for him. And like with Echo, being the correctional psychiatrist, I was like, okay, this is perfect, because then it's someone who not just understands him, but she also loves him. And I don't want to give anything away, but it's like it didn't just, it wasn't just a love that just came out of nowhere. Like theirs had been brewing for a while. So
Yeah. And I would say with Echo and with Sincere, when she was counseling him, and then when they kind of get free in the open and they're out in the open, it was almost like they were both borderline obsessed with each other.
Yep.
And as I was reading it, I was like, okay, first of all, it looks like she's, crossing some ethical lines here.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, is she really fit to counsel him? Because they both got this obsession with each other. And then I'm like, okay, she ain't the right one for him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start the story out, Sherelle, and I think I mentioned this to you, when you start the story out, first of all, we thought with Ruined Vows we was going to get Storm story, but you went in the same family,
I
but
did.
you went a different direction. But when the story starts out, he bumps his head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I first off said, okay, where you going with this, right? So he bumps his head, and then I'm thought, guys, I don't know about y'all, but when he bumped his head, I thought, okay, is she getting ready to go fantasy or supernatural? Because I thought he was gonna have some special powers. Seriously, no lie. I told you this.
Right, you did tell me that.
Special powers. But then as we progress to the story, we really find out the bumping of the head really had nothing to do with it, but it was some things that he saw, traumatized in his life. Yep. So I have to ask you now again, what was the purpose of the bumping of the head?
The purpose of the bumping of the head is that happened right after. No, wait, does that give something away? Well, okay. I'm gonna just
waited
anyway. Yeah, I'm just saying anyway, because that actually just serves the purpose of when he starts dealing with his mental illness even worse. Okay. It's always been something that he's battled with. Okay. But that's what that important moment marks. So it's like by the time you get to the end of the story, I think you really see why that first chapter was so important to his storyline.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah. And then, so you've already talked about like the mental health is significant. And I think I know which coffee shop you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it now.
Hip Hop and Mental Health.
Is it? I don't know if that's the same one, but anyway, I'll have to check with you later about that.
That's the one that I like got inspired. I mean, I even talked to the owner and everything, and I was like, I'm definitely spotlighting this because I think it's a gem, especially in our community. So yeah, I'm a huge supporter of that cafe.
Okay. Now in writing your book, how did you progress? Did the ending come? Did you know it was going to be sincere? Why sincere? For this particular book, and did you know your ending before your beginning?
So we knew, the four of us, we kind of talked about it. We knew that we were going to bring in our heroes were all going to be from our prominent families that we've either introduced or have yet to introduce. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like I always knew that it was going to be his story, but I actually was not sure because we meant to come out with this series earlier. At one point, that means his story would have been the first of his family of crowns to come out. So his would have been out before Honey's. Instead,
okay.
So you would have met probably more of the family and stuff like that in his story versus the other way around.
See what I mean? Slippery slope. Slippery slope. Okay. All right, Miss Angie. This question is going to be a little bit the same. let me make sure I got you. Okay. So for Khalil, um so Khalil is he toes the line between good and bad, if you will, right? And so with Khalil, what ingredients went into him? Okay. And did you always, because since this story was in the making way before, did you know Khalil before you introduced Lazarus in the royal family?
Well, okay, so as everybody know, Khalil is a Kane, which is my royal series.
Hmm.
So I did not know Khalil was going to exist. Um, However, when this story came about, it only made sense for him to be a part of that family. So in Khalil's story, you can see he suffers with like self identity. He does.
Hmm.
He straddled the line between good and bad, and really who he is as a person. So I knew like Willow, which was the heroine, was going to have to be someone who, for one, was a little flawed herself that was dealing with something to understand him.
Hmm.
But Khalil had so many layers that
Mm.
um I didn't want him to be like fully like understood to the depth of not being fully understood, if that makes sense. Like, because
Hmm.
with him being in his family, there are certain secrets you have to keep. So he really struggles with that throughout the book. And if you know, once you get to the end, you kind of see how he derives at how he's who he is as a person. But I think for him, I just wanted um you know, if you read the Canes with the sisters, they all kind of um, toggled between the line of not really wanting this, not really want to be a
Mm.
part of this life.
Hmm.
But sometimes you have to accept, you know, or not the role you've been born into. So with Khalil, I did not see him coming, but he would have, if I saw him coming, he would have probably been in between Aaron's and Eric's book.
Okay. Okay.
If I would have not wrote him in Once Upon a Murder, if that makes sense.
Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. And I love the of course I'll go back to you, Sherelle. I love the way you bring us back with the cameos for the crowns, because you can just never have enough crowns. And with you, a great transition with the Canes, because as I was reading Khalil's and I knew the name stuck out, but I did not even know um where it came from. I didn't remember where it came from until he said his uncle, something about his uncle, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then I went back and then I noticed that what it was. So kudos for taking us back to that. Now let's talk a little bit about Willow. What ingredients had to go into Willow in order for her and Kane to, Khalil to be the perfect fit?
Well, I wanted her to have some type of family issues too,
Hmm.
because that's something that Khalil was struggling with. Not to give away a lot in his book, but you see how he struggling with his mother and then his uncle and then just his family in general. So I
Mm.
knew she would have had to understand that. And I thought the best way for someone to understand what you're going through is for them to be going through something similar, probably not the same thing, but she had her own family issues. So I knew that was something I wanted her to embody, as well as being almost like a ride and die, like a Bunny and Clyde type of girl. Like,
Indeed,
um,
she was that.
no, because he needed that. I mean, he needed someone to be okay with, who he was, what he could share, and what he couldn't, and he needed someone who would be okay for now with what they had going on and being self confident in their love to know that everything is going to be okay. So that's how I wrote Willow, and I knew that's the person he would need in his life. He wouldn't need a person who had to know everything, like
Mhm.
like if you don't tell me what everything is over, I'm done.
Yeah. Which I thought she was gonna go with that way too.
And then it would have been over for him because
Yeah.
he's a slow burn. You can see Khalil, he opens up slowly. He's not I'm gonna give it to you all at once type of person. So he couldn't deal with a woman who needed to know everything right away. So I think because of his slow burn approach and her understanding of it and willingness to give him the time and the space and the platform that he needed to tell her or be more open with her as time go along, will just what worked for them.
Yeah. Well, I love their journey. I'm going to just take the question here. JB, this is for you, Sherelle. She said, why the name? So, because yeah, that part of the family do have some unique names.
Yes. So with Sincere, with his name, I actually really wanted to have him have that name because I felt like he was trying to be sincere to who he was, but he always felt like he kind of didn't belong. So I love that name for someone who was, kind of just always battling for acceptance and then always kind of looking at the wrong ways. I won't even go into the whole Monique thing right now because I know we
Oh
got to
yeah.
keep going.
That's gonna have to be a whole platform to talk about this Monique.
I know. And then so that was with his name, and then with Echo's name, I actually went back and forth with her name quite a bit. But then I loved Echo because to me it seemed like that sounding voice that he kind of needed, like a person that would always kind of take him back to the present and bring him back to him. And so that's why I was like, oh, Echo is the perfect name for the woman that he will fall in love with or obsessed with, depending on how you look at it.
Okay. All right. So now let's go to Mr. Galvin Black. This is Cheryl Lister's hero. So for you, Cheryl, with what ingredients did you feel needed to be in Galvin to make him the character that would move this story along? And also, what type of woman did you feel like? What was your ingredients for his heroine for Nadia? I loved Nadia because I think Nadia was like perfect for him because she was almost like I just think her presence just helped him along in his thing. But tell me about the
Yeah,
how you came up with the characters.
he did. So if you have read my 5 midnight moments and mistletoe moments, you
Mm-hmm,
have seen the Black family that lives in
mm-hmm.
LA. And you kind of got a glimpse of them. If you read this story, you saw them. So that's my forthcoming. If life stops tripping and lets me get the books done, then yeah, next year.
Whatever works.
But yeah, but for Gavin, I think for him, with his past, he had become a person who he didn't share
Mm-hmm,
easily. Well, actually, he didn't share at all, if we're gonna be
mm-hmm,
honest. And his outlet was his art. That's where you saw his real personality, his real fire
mm-hmm,
in him. And like you said, Nadia was perfect, although in a kind of opposite kind of way, because he's a person who kept his secrets close to the vest.
mm-hmm,
And Nadia was a reporter of all things, an investigative reporter to go out and investigate secrets.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So, but at the same time, she was more ethical, and her presence actually gave him the ability to open up a little bit and to be comfortable and to be vulnerable with her. She made a point of trying to keep that separate and letting him know that it was okay for him to let his guard down some. I mean, it wasn't easy, but
yeah, yeah.
she
I mean,
hung in there.
yeah. And you guys, all of you guys, your heroines were pretty much they were not dormant. They were very strong. All of them were very, very strong. And if needed be, though, because those guys, every one of the heroes in this series had a lot of baggage. I'm talking Santa Claus bags full of stuff, right? But if the heroines in there, if need be, they could carry that bag. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about this series.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm saying what ingredients went into that, because each one of them was just so perfect for their guy, you
Yeah.
know.
But you know what? She was also a little different too coming there. She wasn't necessarily the more outgoing, but there
Hmm.
was something about him that allowed her to be free, to be a little bit more assertive, to be the one to say, "Hey, what you doing?" You know.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
I love the opposite, and they were very opposite but very same. So two sides
But
of the same
and
coin.
I love the initiative that she took with him too. And then her career path was
Hmm.
very perfect for their journey as well.
Yeah.
I did love them, and I agree with you, um, Shaniqua. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I don't, please, I'm so sorry. But okay, so let's bring us up, and I'm gonna say, guys, when you read the series, and I don't know if I asked this question, but after we find out about Elle's couple, I'm gonna go back and ask the question about why the series needed to be. Was there a significance about the order of them? Because normally you guys say we could read them in any order, but this time it was a preference or recommended that we read in order. But I'm gonna say I did read in order, and Sherelle just slapped us around with the first book, and then we went a little bit deeper with Khalil, and then with Gavin, you got sad, and then Elle just knocked us on our butt. So I want to know the reason why we had to read them in order, because it was truly an emotional roller coaster. So Elle, let's talk about your
Hey,
characters. So, you brought us back to the Youngs, right?
I sure
So,
did.
yes. So, Knox Young
Yes.
is Mama Vicky's nephew,
Hmm.
but baby boy had some troubles.
He
And
sure
I
did.
don't know, how did you feel after? First of all, let me ask you this. How did you feel after writing this? Because I mean, I felt like you in a dark box with him. He had so many. Yee. So tell us
Um,
about him.
so to avoid crying on this here good midnight Ace book bar show, I kind of pulled from my own personal experience of losing my
Okay.
mother. When I wrote
Okay.
Knox, I kind of dabbled in it in other books, but this book, there was the issue of his faith being destroyed after his
Mm,
sister died and then his mom left and now you know, and what happens in this book. And I always knew I didn't always know I wanted it to be a young. We just kind of decided to kind of pull in our main families, and
mhm,
I had already started laying the groundwork that there's a whole another set of youngs
mhm,
from Mama Vicky, because they
mhm,
both, her and Papa Stu, had the same last name. And I had already written that she's not that close with her family. There's only a few people that she talks to, so I'm starting to introduce some of those people into the fold. And I started with Alea from Smoke and Love, and now I went on to Knox. So once I settled on this is Mama Vicky's side of the Youngs, I was good with that. But I had to go dark for Knox because the whole theme of his story was just loss, grief, because he really lost his entire immediate family, like he lost everything. Um, and we're not talking about Monique, the elephant in the room, but
yeah.
he lost everything. And I think sometimes when you lose something, it's hard to see what you still have. And
Mhm,
so I purposely set out to have him on this journey where he had to realize that even though he lost people who were so dear to him, he still had people that were still dear to him here, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so he all wasn't lost, you know, and it never had been. But in his head, it was, you know, and so he had to work his way through that. And so I did pull from a very dark place, and I pulled
Mhm.
from my own struggles with my own faith after after my mom died, and how I struggled with just trusting God to have done the right thing. You know, like we always say, I grew up in the church, so we always say, "Hey, Lord knows best," you know. But in
Mm.
my heart, it was
Yeah.
such a big ache that I just could not understand. And some days I still don't understand why he took my mother. And so
Mhm.
I channeled that into this book. And I think that's why it ended up being as dark as it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was dark. Yes, it was dark. But you could relate. People who have lost someone close to them can certainly relate to what he was going through and the turmoil that he was going through. And then his heroine was Harlow, and
Carlo.
yeah, and I kind of feel like with her, she had to be a special person, and
Mhm.
probably now with her, what was your, you know, this is what I got
So
from her. She had to, she if it had not been for Harlow lifting him up and accepting him as he was and all of his faults and everything, I don't know if he would have got past all of that.
I think Harlow was, and everybody who knows Elle Wright knows I love a good friends to lover
Mhm.
story. Um, and this was actually also a second chance at love, which
Mhm.
everybody who knows Elle Wright know that's not my favorite, but it seems like I've been writing them a lot lately. So um, I wanted to kind of pull from that friendship part
Mhm.
of their relationship because Harlow was a special person to have to deal with Knox.
Oh yeah.
Even back in the day, which I wanted to kind of show what their dynamic was back in the day too through that book.
Mhm.
But she had to be the type of person that she is to deal with Knox the way he was. And then she had to become the type of person who told Knox that she wasn't about to take this anymore and he needed to move on, you know, and she had to come through to that decision herself. So I figure it's a journey that both of them had to go through because
Mhm.
sometimes you have to make a decision. Okay, I love this man, but I'm not going to sit around and wait for this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mhm.
still have a life to live and I want to live my life. You know, I can't wait for him to get himself together, you know? And so, like, I think she was a perfect person for Knox because she
Mhm.
represented what he never thought he had after he lost so much.
Yeah.
And I think when faced with the reality of losing her, it kind of snapped him out of what he was going, you know, what he was in. Like, hey, you know, I can't lose her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was probably would have been worse than a death for him to lose her and have her still be around and him watching her with somebody else. And you could tell in a certain scene in the book where he was
Right.
actually seeing her with somebody else that he was just like, okay, this is not what I want, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm going to make it happen. And they also had their son, Shaquille, and,
Mhm.
um, and he was also um, a very good matchmaker for his parents. So,
Yeah.
but he
But
was
he
also he
it,
never played about his mama, so he
that
loved
was
his
good.
and he didn't have a problem telling his dad, you know, I love my mama, so you know, I love you, but I love my mama, so
Mhm. Yeah, he so much as said, I'm not gonna play about my mama. So he basically told his dad, get yourself together. But there, I mean, even in the midst of all the darkness, you still gave us some funnies in there. So that was
Yes,
good. Some funnies in there.
yes.
So you're really good about that.
And
Um,
she was a safe place for him, Shaniqua. She was.
yeah. Um, but I do love the redemptions in there. There is, I mean, we're just talking about the couples right now because we don't have time to like really dive in. But there are a few scenes in there, and I think with your book too, Elle, I think it's a perfect book, especially for someone who is really into reading books and they use books to kind of escape sometimes to read the story because it's easy to look at somebody else's journey when they're going through grief and to figure out like, okay, this is not what you're doing may not be working because we when we're doing it, we don't know what we're doing. It takes somebody else on the outside to tell us that. So I think your book will could probably help someone if they're kind of stuck in a certain space. So
It helped
um
me.
yeah, so it was a good read. It was really a good read. So now that we've introduced to all the couples, let's talk about the devil spawn, Monique. And I don't know who came up with her. I don't know what kind of genetics y'all came up with to build her as a character. But y'all, let me tell y'all, if y'all have read the Wellspring series, this one right here could go toe to toe with Senior. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's talk about it, ladies. Where she come from? Who did it? Let's go. Don't all speak at once.
I think she was a compilation. I think, like they said, like all of us kind of contributed to her deviousness, her unlikability, her what else you want?
Okay, so
She
okay, so
was.
okay, so she was her parents had died. So when she was wreaking havoc that we're reading that, we're at the point where her parents had died, right? So
Mhm.
we know she got this from her father because her father was a tyrant too. So this, you figure this little lady is just out here just what we learn in from Sincere about her is just it will break your heart. But now I guess I don't know if I'm asking the right question. Like, y'all help me out here
I
because like
think I
I
think
want to just
no, I think I get what you're saying. Cause like what Cheryl said, her name, we also gonna say her name changed about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
Right? No,
yeah.
Right.
I didn't
She had a nickname,
Paid
remember?
for it. Yeah, we
even
did. We
working. We were
sure
like,
did.
that's not good enough. No, that's too sweet. No, like we kept changing her name and we
Yeah.
stayed on countless conference calls that some
Mhm.
of them were just purely based off Monique. And it was like, how can we just make her worse? And we also wanted
Mhm.
all of the men to have a different experience. So it's like if one is married to her, then the other, possibly she could have wanted the other one, and then the other she may wreak havoc for his family. It's like we all had to have different layers of her.
Mhm.
And we were getting continually frustrated as we're writing because it was like, man, are we making her too bad? Like, she's a villain, but it's like we couldn't stand her. And then we're reading
Yeah.
the parts to each other that we wrote of her.
We
It's just
say,
getting
oh,
it's just getting worse and worse.
Oh,
So
okay. Let me stop you right there.
like,
So, okay, so y'all had the character, y'all got the character, and you just said something. So each one of you all had your own separate experience with her. Is that what you're
mhm.
saying?
mhm.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It was
But you could
exhausting.
tell. I mean, it's like in each one of the books, the experience with those guys were different with how she wreaked havoc in their lives.
Mhm.
And like you said, it's generational.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that entitlement that was from before just carried down with her.
Yeah, because they all went to high school with her, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
she's been just a tyrant from the beginning with them
From day one.
from day
Day
one.
one.
So
Mhm.
you get to see a glimpse of her in high school and just how horrible she was, and
Hmm.
so that just carried over in adulthood. And not to give a lot away, but you kind of see she starts off with one of the guys in high school where it just leads you into the first book, which
and I think that was the genius move in Angie's book, is to kind of show them all young in high school. Which when she read that to us, we were all blown away. And teary-eyed, because it was
we got emotional.
Scene. It was just a very emotional scene, because we had already been writing her wreaking havoc in the present,
right?
And then we see how she was in the past, and it's just like these guys had to deal with her from high school to now, and it's just like horrible. She's awful.
And I saw someone comment on the nickname. That was
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
We had to pick Monique. That's how Monique ended up winning, because we wanted them all to know her by a different name, and we needed different variations of a nickname. And Monique gave us a lot to work with, from Mo and Neek and just all of these different things. So that was purposely done. And
I don't know if those little nicknames could work for her, because
it was we started.
It was just how they know her.
The whole we weren't even gonna say her name. Like it was like a whole.
Yeah, she was like she had a different. Yeah, she had. She had a no name,
a title. It
was a title, and we were just like, no, she too evil. She don't deserve just a title. Like we just I think this, it's not giving anything away, but it's even in Sincere's book. He's like, he knew what evil tasted like, because he was married to her for so long, and she took so much of his life. So when I finished writing that, I think I was on a sprint, and I think Elle and Cheryl had just either they were hopping on or they were about to hop on, but I was on there with Angela, and she's like, I just wrote this chapter. So like what Elle was saying, I'm reading it, and I had just wrote my chapter, and I'm bawling reading hers, because I'm like, this woman is so terrible.
Right. We are.
Emotionally, because I was like, she's so bad. I just can't stand her at all.
I know, right?
Did Senior ever come up? Because all of you all know Senior.
Oh, child, no. I mean, I'm with you that as a toss up. I don't know. She might be edging Senior out, and that's hard to say.
Me too.
Because
I think she's more evil than Senior.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so too. Him a little bit, because
I wrote Senior, so I really think Monique is more evil than Senior.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And then it's one part in Sincere's book that really kind of puts her on the map with that statement, her being worse than Senior.
Yeah,
that was.
I think she was worse. She was so. When we were reading each other,
right?
The Monique scenes, we were all just hating her like she was a real person. If I would have saw her walk in the room, I would have punched her. It was that. It was that bad.
Let me see what they saying out here.
She was.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, Mama Tony, that's true. I wanted to just pause for just a minute. I wanted to tell Kelly, hello, Kelly. Thank you for coming out there, my little sissy. And I'm gonna. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to answer her. You do not have to read all the other series in order to read this book, but it is recommended that you read this series in order.
That's completely right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because she was so terrible. I mean, like you said, we were writing, I wrote some of my little scenes with the past scene with her.
Yeah.
I was hitting the keyboard so hard. My husband was like, what are you doing? Because I was typing so angry. Just writing myself, because it's like, oh my God, this woman, I want to strangle her.
Yeah, because what she did to Galvin was that was a total mean girl move that she did, and it was just unnecessary.
But it was who she was. It was who she was.
But then her father. So for Galvin, he got it twofold, because it's his trauma started before, with the father. And then it continued on with Monique. Lord, honey. I said, what is going on with them writing such a horrible character? Didn't we not do enough with Senior? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Kimmy, I'm with you, girl. Kimmy, I'm with you. I wanted to fight him too. I still be thinking about that when I look over and see the books.
Right. I said, Lord, and listen. And here's the thing. So if you all are not familiar, L. Wright wrote a series way back when. It's one of those
way
throwback
back when.
series. And
The
with the
Wellspring.
Wellspring series, and there was
Woo!
a character in there that was just really, really
Toxic.
evil. So if you want to know why, or why, how we are matching him up with this character here, go back to the Wellspring series and read that. And he's senior, Parker Senior to be exact. We don't even call him by his full name because he
You're right. He can't get no full name.
right,
He
exactly,
like his name is coming off the list, off our
right,
list.
right.
Can I answer Danielle's Key's question?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Danielle, you asked, is this series being released on 9/26? Danielle, the second part of this series is because Mama Tony in here asking us why we all stressed out. Y'all get all unstressed on 9/26. So read this series first. This series available
Yeah.
now, Danielle, and then pre-order the second ones, and you'll get the complete understanding.
Yeah, I was mad at y'all too. I was mad at y'all because I was like, it is no
She
freaking
did,
way
Shaniqua.
yet that we didn't went through all of this. Y'all done took us through all of this, and then we still trying to figure out, what's fun.
Yeah,
I know.
I think with the Monique, it was kind of hard for us to kind of let it go. I mean, people were sliding in my inbox like, I know you didn't do that to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing at these comments over here.
Right, I know.
These
I'm trying to put it. I'm
from
trying
Mama
to put
Tony.
it
How
in
you
there.
spell? Right. And then Lakia talking about she hoped that somebody left the grave open like.
Oh,
Okay,
which
I'm
would have
sorry.
been nice. Which
Y'all
would
are
have been
killing me.
nice. Oh, when I
No,
tell
the
you,
cemetery scene. That's what she.
That's all I'm laughing at, right?
but
I'm like,
it actually it was two cemetery scenes. One was very, very emotional, and then the other one was just like, I was like, yeah, do it.
Oh, I
man.
just know what she's talking about.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Miss Prissy.
Hey, y'all. If you all are just joining, I know some people had popped in while I was going through my spiel. You all are at the book bar. I'm glad they left the door open for you all. We're talking about Once Upon a Murder with Sherelle Green, Angela Seals, Cheryl Lister, and Elle Wright. But if you've been following them for any length of time, you know that they have this penchant for these Once Upon a series. But this one right here, I don't know. I think they got jokes, but it ain't funny because at the end of this one, we still left like with our mouths open. But they are gonna come back and close it out for us. So we get a reprieve. But we gotta wait till September. The end of
We tried to
September
put
is
those
next.
pre-orders
So
up as
whatever.
soon as possible so people knew.
Yeah. Well, y'all didn't say that at first. Y'all didn't say that at first. Well, you know what? First of all, y'all ain't say nothing at first. Y'all just went on about y'all business. Y'all came on social media, dropped that bomb, and like boom, and then no signs of y'all. Y'all traveling all around the world.
Well, that we just had. It was we had wedding season. We had One Love with AC Authors event. It was back-to-back stuff, and we actually talked about like maybe we shouldn't come out with it then, and maybe we should push them both back, just because we knew we were going to be on the road. All of us were going to be traveling a lot,
and we didn't push out stuff for so long anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, we were like, well, maybe we just push it again, but then we were like, nah, we can't.
Kind of lend it to the mystery though, like we dropped it and then we disappeared.
That is true.
Story. I like that.
Okay, so here's Romcom Diva says the pain she caught. Well, yeah, we're gonna find out because they on what is it, September 26th, you dropped the next 4 books. So
definitely have to read them in order. Listen to me and listen to me.
It'll be that's our
read them in the
7
order.
year. That's our 7-year reunion from when we came out
year
anniversary.
Yeah, anniversary.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, 7-year anniversary. I said reunion.
Okay. Hey,
it's a reunion of familiar scenery. I think we can never really leave Rosewood Heights.
I think well, to address some of the comments about Monique, I think one of the things is Monique, don't forget she's like the heiress of the town of Black River Falls. So she's like this spoiled brat. She
Right,
used to getting
right.
what she wants. And in
Mhm.
each book you see, if she doesn't get what she wants, she don't handle that well. So that's she
Mhm.
has a retaliation. So it's
Somebody,
kind
do
of
you
like
think she
you
put her in
already
that dark?
how why she does what she does.
Miss JB, it's
I
only a
agree
You
with
book.
you.
you know what though? Actually, if the spoil part, I think I could have dealt with. She would have got on my nerves, but I could have dealt with. But the severity of her evilness, I wanted to jump through there and just yeah. And then I'm like, even why are they even investigating? She's gone.
Are
Let's
on a
just
loop. I can't.
I mean, they have to investigate when the town heiress goes missing,
I guess. I guess. Well, you know what? They had their 4 suspects and they came up empty. So, cold case, I think. But anyway, I
That's
guess
what
I
you
wanted to
hope.
see. And you know what else though too? This is another thing I didn't understand in the series too. So everybody hated that whole entire family because okay, so the way you all the scene or where it's set at is set in Black what is it?
Black
Black
River
River
Falls.
Falls.
Black River
Black
Falls,
River
and
Falls.
it's across the water from Rosewood Heights.
Right.
And so let's talk about the water there. So, the water it bumps up against the water that's on Rosewood Heights, right? So
Mhm.
we're talking in a body of water, it's running, clean on one side and then black on the other side.
Yeah.
Now, is this water going to come up again? Is it something with the water? Does that also have to do with the whole
We
thing?
can't tell you.
Oh,
Now
okay.
you already know that she wasn't gonna get an answer to that,
Well,
right?
no, I mean, okay, so no, I wasn't trying to get anything because I know we got something else coming, so I wasn't trying to do anything. So you could just tell me no, we can't answer that yet.
You can't answer that yet. LaKenya, I'm over here hollering at your comment. Let me just say, I'm crying. Listen, I have tears over here about these comments over here because I'm like dying. So,
Okay.
baby, we gonna clear it all up for you. I promise. It'll be all cleared up. We ain't gonna leave y'all forever on this. I know. I
Oh
understand.
my goodness.
Oh my God.
Which is why we made sure to let y'all know that there was something else coming soon after we dropped
And
this
please
one.
be
So
kind,
you didn't
please be kind in my reviews because I'm the last one and I'm just been getting it. I've been
Oh,
getting it.
like where
yeah.
they at? Okay.
No, L, yeah, they didn't set you up. They didn't set you up right at all. They didn't set you up right at all. But
She
why
said
why
not
did it
try
have to
midnight.
be in order? Why does it have to be in order?
Because the story unfolds in each of their books. There's a little bit more revealed in
Okay,
each of the
okay.
books. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the way we're writing this series is the whole series. Even the last 4 books have to be read in order. So,
But this next
like,
one, you have to.
you
You
really need to
absolutely have
read
to.
the
The
next
next
4
4.
in order.
Cannot not read them in order because you will be confused and then you'll be coming on our reviews and talking about how come and what happened to. It's like, well, we
Yeah.
told you, read them in order. So you read them in order, then you can't come and yell at us. That's why we saying read them in order.
And I
Okay.
think
So
it's
read
just
them in
really
order.
a experiment,
And it
just to
is.
see if y'all readers follow our instructions, and then maybe we will be able to. Oh, thank you, King. And then maybe we can try it again in a different way, So
Kelly.
like it's just it was important to tell the story of each of these men, and each of these men play a role. Monique played a role in each of these men's life, but these first 4 books, I think our main goal was to get the
Oh,
romance
I love that, Kimmy.
out.
Thanks.
Like the
Yeah.
romance was supposed is the forefront of these first 4 books.
Exactly.
And so we had to be able to show that these men, in all their
Trauma.
darkness and trauma, they found love,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but Monique was still in the background just doing shit. I mean, stuff. Sorry.
No. Yeah, you're right. We probably needed some other name with that because she was. She was
She really
supreme.
was. She was. And but
Um,
and I mean, because you have to think that even the heroines recognized that she was an evil heifer, as Brenda Woodbury said. I mean, because
but
she
you know
was.
what I didn't understand was I didn't understand the whole entire time hated them as a family as a whole. And then, but they only chose the four guys. And I know that's probably the way you wrote the story. But I figured after they didn't find anything with them guys, they should have been hauling some other people in there too, you
There's
know.
a whole list of town folks should have been hauled. And you
Right.
know what? It might have been, but that's
I
not our
think there
story.
was, and
That's
that was
not
the
the
point.
story.
Like when we came up with our when we came up with the whole premise, we came up with the town people too, and what role they would have, or if they had anything, because the town itself was a character in the
Yeah.
book. So we all were responsible for bringing the town to life.
Yeah.
I think we did it in a way that we didn't even do it with Rosewood Heights when we
Yeah.
did
True.
Bridesmaids and
Yeah.
Baby and
Yeah.
Funeral. The town was part of this story just as
Yeah.
much as the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, the
And the
town
people,
was
the townspeople, like some of the scenes with the people in town, like just crazy. Like I know Sherelle had the scene outside of the restaurant with the old men, and like the rumors and all that stuff that
Yeah.
just happened. Like those scenes are important because it tells the story of the town, and the
Mhm.
town is one of the biggest the biggest characters of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
books.
Well, I have to say this series, if you all have not dived in yet, please do so. Because I mean, it was a great series. Didn't see this one coming at all. Was pleasantly surprised about it. Hated the ending because I just did. But I am grateful that you got something else coming, and I'm gonna be impatiently waiting for that. And thank you so much too for you guys. And I know as authors, I see I'm starting to see this more and more. It's just kind of a shame that you have to put almost a thesis in the front of the book to tell people about all the triggers and what to do, what not to do, or whatever. And then when they go and read the story, it still's not what they're not happy with it, and then they write a review, especially and write the stuff in there, the very stuff you told them not to do. So we're sorry, readers everywhere. I want to apologize to you for that. But we are a very unique bunch, and so some of us just want what we want, and we get very emotional. Oh, it's
Oh,
storming here. I
Sherelle.
wonder
Yeah,
what
Sherelle says storming,
happened
so she slide in the comments. Her thing is hip hop. Okay.
to her.
Oh,
Okay.
baby.
Yeah, it's supposed to be storming out here, too, but we just
That
haven't
means
got
it's
it yet.
coming here in a few short hours. So
Oh,
Right,
I'm
right.
sending all y'all hugs out there.
Okay, so
We roasting them.
everybody enjoyed the series, so that is good. So,
thank you,
ladies,
Miss Brenda.
um, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
So,
Miss Brenda.
let me see what else. If you guys have any questions, put them in there now. Otherwise, I'm gonna have them tell us what they have coming next. Oh, she was gonna pop in. I want for her to know what's coming next too. Um,
Yay, you're
Yay, she's
back.
back.
hey, sorry about that. I think I was just saying it's supposed to be storming out here
Hear me?
too.
Yeah, my power went out. It went all black. I screamed. I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Okay. So let's start. Well, Sherelle, let's start with you since you're back. If you guys have any questions, put them in there. I'm gonna kind of close this out. So just please put all your questions in there. So Sherelle, tell us what you have coming next. Tell us the title of your next book in the Once Upon a Murder series, and then anything else that you'll have releasing along the way.
Ooh, okay. So all four of the books are called The Secrets We Create, but then just have the heroes' names changed. So mine
Mm-hmm.
is The Secrets We Create Sincere. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and right before that though, I actually have a release coming out. It's called Choke and Stroke Academy.
Mm.
It's a dark, erotic, suspenseful story.
Mhm.
That's also been a while in the making, so I'm excited about that. And there's some surprises in that story, too, about something that I'm launching next. So anyone who buys it, they will know what that next surprise is.
Okay. Is there anything that you could suggest to the readers so that they don't be left behind? Newsletter, perhaps, or your social media handles or anything?
Yes, definitely. My newsletter. Also, I do have a membership that I'm launching. And the first people to know that is also on my website, or you can go to www.sherellegreen.com/membership and it'll take you to the page. Um, and that also has to do with Choke and Stroke Academy. So I'm excited about all of that as
You're
well.
excited. I'm scared because I don't know what I got myself into because I was just like, yeah, I want to be there. I don't know what I'm saying. I want to be there
Oh
for.
gosh.
But anyway, so stay tuned. So it's www.sherellegreen.com for the website. They can sign up for the newsletter or any
And
memberships
they
that
can
you
sign up for both.
are,
All there.
any memberships that you are brave enough to sign up for.
Oh yes.
What is King talking about?
He said, "What the idea for
You know
both?"
what? I always love when the comments come in from King. They just keep it real. Keep it real.
You know,
Okay. So were you gonna say something?
oh no, I didn't know if I was supposed to answer it. So because he asked, I didn't know if I was supposed
No,
to
answer it.
Oh, well, no, it's for that. They already know this, and I was laughing, but it's because since I started my career with Kamani, and I started going on panels, and saying I used to be the author of, Sweet Small Town Romance, but now I'm the author of Choking While Stroking Romance. So because of that, it kind of took on this whole world and narrative of its own. And so I was like, oh, I said, it's something here. I really have to get people into my new world. And I love the people who've been following me since the beginning, but I was like, I'm like 60 books in now. So I'm like, I really want to get people into this new world. So that is where that came from.
Okay, Mama Tony had a question. I'm assuming yes, but
Yes.
if anybody wants to answer that,
Yes.
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 Yeah, well, we wouldn't do that to you.
That's it. It'll
well,
be nice
that's
and closed
that's
up, okay?
questionable.
Oh, thank you, Sharon.
I think Kimmy had a question.
Kimmy had a
too.
question too. Yeah.
Okay, did I miss her?
Yeah, she's a little bit up.
Kimmy. Oh, there you go. Good question. Because I'm sure there were some.
Who wants to take this first?
I
The
guess
hardest
you
part
answered.
was because I think the hardest thing was coordinating our time to be able to talk about this series. Because if you've followed us with all of our Once Upon Us and all of our anthologies, bays or whatever, that you can see that there's a connectivity in all the books. But this one here
But nothing like this.
was nothing. Nothing was like this one. That's the hardest part because it was so intricately tied together that we had to really, really spend the time and making sure that we're kind of on the same part. Where because before you have like a little connection and you free to write. That's not how this works over here. This one was just it's so intricately layered between us, so we had to do that.
Kelly.
Oh my gosh, Kelly.
Hot tub.
The hot tub book.
Look, I'm just bringing this back up because Sharon, I think we all do this blindly follow all of these.
Love y'all for it.
I think we blindly follow Sherelle too.
I think so. That's whatever happens.
We
Okay.
blindly follow Sherelle too.
Yeah, I blindly follow all of you all, and then that's what got me hooked up to here. Just saying, okay. Okay, Angela, tell us what you got coming out next. Tell us the title of the next book in this series and anything else you got coming up.
Okay, so like Sherelle has said, they all are called The Secrets We Create. So it's just Khalil,
Okay.
same title. So that's next for me. Beyond that, I will not say what's next. As everyone know, I will probably just drop a book. So I don't want to give out timelines, and because I don't do well with those. So
At least you're honest.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We do, honestly. But can I ask you a question?
Sure. Be nice.
Are we gonna get any more of the Royal series?
Yes. The Royal
Okay.
is telling me. So I owe the last sister in there, Ariana Kane. Her book it's going to be similar to Being Dark as well. So
Okay.
you know, after writing Khalil took a lot out of me.
Oh,
So
I bet.
to write another somewhat dark book, I have to put myself back in that headspace because I did shed tears over this book, like tears reading it and writing it. And I hear people say that all the time, but the last scene really just took a lot out of me
Okay.
in this one. So I just have to recoup.
Okay. Will we see Khalil anymore after the Once Upon series? Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I think he'll make a cameo somewhere. He has to. Yeah, that's his uncle. That's his family.
Yeah. Well, I know he has to, but I don't know if you know he has to.
No, he has to. He has to.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Oh,
I isn't it the
thank you, Miss
truth?
JB.
Yes,
Thank you, Miss
absolutely.
JB.
Okay, Miss Cheryl Lister. What you
Next up,
got?
The Secrets We Create and Gavin. And okay, I'm just gonna give y'all. This is just my, pre whatever. Don't y'all come for me after y'all finish this book. Don't talk about my sister authors up here. Don't say anything about them. You understand? Y'all just read it. For my girls.
Look, you like just read it and you better enjoy it. And the review better not be bad.
No, you get mad, but okay, I can't say nothing else. But just don't come for my girls because I know the first thing y'all gonna do is say something about them and how it relates to how this book turns out. So
I
don't
don't
come for them.
know. I'm getting some ideas. Y'all, I think we're gonna have to, when y'all grab this book, we might have to have our own little book chat. We might have to do a little Zoom room chat first to get all of our emotions under control before we go out to the public. So if any of you all are interested that after this book drops and you all read it, like in the next couple of days after it drops, if y'all are interested in coming into a Zoom room, because it sounds like we're gonna be a mess. So we get our emotions under control before we go take it out to the world. Y'all let me know. I'll set it up and I will join you all. Okay.
So as far as after
I
that, I
don't
don't
know.
know.
You might not like what we say. So
no, I want to hear. I want to be a fly on the wall.
Okay, we'll invite you then, honey. We will invite you.
We could join incognito. They will never know where
We'll
they're.
just leave our take our names
Okay.
off and everything. But no, after that, I like Angie said, I'm not gonna say because life has been throwing me, curves left, right, sideways, and whatever. So, my little sassy season sister that was supposed to be done earlier this year with all my health and my back, and y'all know, has been just kicked off until wherever. So if life cooperates, that's what I really would like to end the year with those two ladies and finish them up. But I can't do anything until I finish, my second women's fiction book that I have to write and, finish all that. So
yeah. And I owe you some. I owe you a couple of things. And so give me a couple of weeks to get them together and I'll be sending them to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at Cheryl Lister. You can I'm Cheryl Lister on Instagram, Threads, it shares across. I'll pop over there, and then author Cheryl Lister on Facebook, or you can just pop over to the website, CherylLister.com, or you can just send me a nice little email, CherylLister@gmail.com, if you want to chat about whatever.
I don't know that.
That's everybody except midnight, though.
I'm gonna slide up in there. I'm gonna look.
Pick up the phone and call.
Now I'm gonna slide up in there anyway. Yeah, you're right. Because listen, I don't have time to be waiting sometimes, y'all. Some of y'all might know. I'll text to be courteous, But if I don't hear from you all and I really gotta have an answer, y'all know y'all gonna hear that ring. And y'all probably already got a ringtone for me because probably something like danger, danger.
Right.
No.
Why would we have that? You're so sweet. We wouldn't do that to you.
That's what I say about y'all too. I wanted to go, Angie. Do you? I didn't ask you about like newsletters or whatever, but I know you're on social media, so tell them where they can find you too on social media. I'm sorry, I skipped over that with you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at LaKenya's comment. She was killing me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Instagram is Seals Angie. Facebook author Angela Seals. Website angelaseals.com. And email Arthur Angela Seals. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right, so we can slide in your inbox too.
Be nice.
Right.
Always,
sure.
always.
Come on.
All right. Okay, Al.
It's the Secrets We Create, Knox.
Okay.
I forgot. Wait, September
Okay.
26th.
Yeah. No, you have a newsletter, right?
I have a newsletter. You could get it from my website, lwright.com. And I am trying to finish up the Youngs sooner than later, so I can get back into Smoke and Burn series and do some other one-off books with some threads I left open with Tristan's book, because I've been getting inboxes about that too. But Tristan will be coming to audio in October.
Woo!
And I have good news coming next year that I can't announce yet, but I hope you guys will be happy about that. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and I am on Twitter, but I'm mostly on politics Twitter. So I might see a book post, but I might not, but mostly I'm L Wright author, the letter L Wright author on Instagram and on Twitter, and on Facebook. I think I'm L Wright author or author L Wright, one of them. And my email is lwrightauthor@gmail.com. And please, people would slide in my inbox on Facebook, but y'all gotta be nice because it's not really a cliffhanger because there's more coming.
Okay.
Oh, we'll your review of the series.
But this is good that we had this conversation. So now we know that there's a difference when it comes to you all. It's not really a cliffhanger when you got something coming. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly.
I mean, it might be a cliffhanger for
it's a temporary cliffhanger.
Okay, all right, because I don't know. I was like thinking,
it's a pause.
I think I know what a cliffhanger is.
We're just giving y'all time to let y'all digest before the rest comes. Because we know that you'll be stressed out, you'll be emotional the whole night. We figured you needed some time to reconcile before we come with the next part. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mama Tony. I just can't announce it yet, but I'm announcing.
But we do love good news. Whenever we can hear it, we love good news. All right. Okay. So everybody, all hearts and minds is clear about this series.
She's about to have benediction.
Honey, listen, this one warrants it. This one warrants
all hearts and minds. But you feel like you need to have a prayer at the end of this one, huh? This was bad, huh?
Well, listen, I just want the people to know, like, I have got you to the end of this train ride. Now, y'all better buy y'all ticket for the next one. And then, we'll come on back. The train gonna circle on the back to the bar. And I'm leaving the back door open for y'all. Y'all just make sure y'all put the stick in there and crack it for everybody else that need to come in here. And that's all y'all got to do.
I just think that the reader, we gave y'all some fine A's, men, because these dudes are that deal. Like, they were,
Yeah.
I mean, we gave y'all some fine heroes, some good days.
Even though they were tortured, they were still
They were
able
tortured,
to,
but they was
they were
sexy.
still able to overcome this
Beautifully
and still get stuff done. Look, they still were getting stuff done, tortured and all. What?
Yeah, no, definitely those covers were nice. Were those was that where did you get those from? Were they
a lot of searching and a lot
okay.
of putting together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
I have to
I
say,
know
fell
I
in love
love
with
all
Knox
her
right
covers.
away.
I love all her covers. My husband has been raving about these covers. When we go play, he like, show them your covers, show them Sherelle covers.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So if my husband is
told
all
me
on these
that.
covers,
He told me that, and I felt honored.
yes, he
Yeah.
did tell you. Huh?
Husband approval. Woo, woo.
Yes, he's loving these covers. He said these the best covers yet.
And I was so inspired. My characters was just getting it in everywhere in the book. Like it was so different.
There
Wow.
was a lot of getting it in this series.
It
That was
was just a lot of it.
you all right.
Okay, so where are the books available for
Pre-order.
paperback or hardcover, whatever?
Yes.
The one these right here are already available. Yep.
Okay, so do we purchase them from your website or do we go to Amazon?
So for the first 4 books, they're in KU right now. So you can read them in KU or purchase them from Amazon. But we have paperbacks also on our website, and they come autographed.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies and gents, we will be going to the website because what? We want our autographed copies, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to put them on the covers. We're going to put them on our bookshelves, and we're going to face them forward. So when people come and look on there, they can be like,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not, because I got to be careful because I get a little. Let me calm down.
You have somebody banging on your door in a minute.
Right. Because you know, a long time ago, I got accused of. I remember when Miss Bev used to put out the Tuesday chocolate ones. You remember
yeah, the Christmas one. Her
long
Christmas
time ago.
one.
Yeah,
she does her Santa time every year.
Yeah,
No,
but
she
she's
did,
doing
she
it
did them other
Tuesdays.
times too. Yeah.
Right.
She
Well,
did
then
her
she had the
Tuesdays
chocolate. I
and
think a
during the
couple
week.
people had the chocolate Tuesdays.
Yeah, she was doing
Yeah.
that too. And then she have it. Don't come out at Christmas, y'all. Let me tell y'all get ready for Christmas. When she come for the holiday chocolate, it's no joke.
Well, anyway, I got accused because it was one day. I was looking at the chocolate Tuesday, but I was next to the man, and then my phone. I was laughing at it. The phone dropped out of my hand, and it landed right in front of him. So, like, he looked down and he saw it. So I was just cracking up, and then I was like, oh. And then he was just like, oh, so now first you're reading it, and now you're looking at it. So I was just like, it's not like that. It's just a little treat in the reading community.
He like, this
You stuttering over there now?
Right. So I have to be careful. Oh, did any one of you all, Elle, did you want to talk about anybody who have registered for Miss Bev's pajama party? Because I know that you like.
Like, who? What?
I had some trouble getting the email, so I didn't know if anybody else would have trouble getting the email.
If you have registered for Miss Bev's PJ party, Gmail has been doing this thing where they're sending a lot of the emails to spam. So if you feel like we haven't responded to you and you've been emailing us or you haven't received anything, they're probably landing in your spam. So please reach out to me. Probably the easiest way to do that is Facebook, or you can send me an email at lwrightauthor@gmail.com, and then we'll try and get you situated.
Right. And then so that's Miss Bev. So if you've already registered, you would have to already have been registered because all those tickets are already.
And that's the October 2024 event.
Right.
And we are at capacity.
Yeah, and so the other stuff that you can still register for is October, November, or first week of November. It's the Raw Experience. That's going to be in DC, Alexandria, I think. So that's November 1st and 2nd. And then if you have been following the tour for Iris Boland's Kitchen Table Chat in December, we're having a commencement of all of the chat. We're doing a tea. And so those tickets can be purchased on her website, www.irisboland.com. Check in the events, get the tickets there. For Raw, go to www.rawexperience.com, get your tickets there. Right. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you guys are somewhere too. There are another sightings of these ladies are going to be in September. They're going to be across the border in Milwaukee.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was like, where?
I'm sorry. Where
Right.
we go? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on these cold
Yeah.
medicine right now.
No,
So
that's okay. So you guys are going to be, what is it called? Rom-com, right?
Romance
Romance
Mhm.
Con in Milwaukee. They
Oh.
actually still have tickets, I believe.
Yeah, they
too.
actually still, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm all of you all are going to be there. You too, Cheryl?
Nope.
No, I
Oh,
think
Just
you will be
me,
there.
Sherelle.
I think just Sherelle and Elle.
Okay. What about you, Angie? No? You be there?
No,
No.
I won't be there. It'll just be
Oh.
Sherelle and Elle.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So that
It's a
I'm
few.
I'm
it's a-
thinking about going, but just for the one day. I can't do the whole weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have. It's a few. It's a lot of authors there. I think it's like over 150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the first time they're doing this, or were they just first time they're coming here?
No, it's
Yeah,
the
it's the
first
first
time that
year.
they're doing it, and it's just it's in Milwaukee, but it's the first time they're doing the event at all.
Okay. Okay. And who's the organizer? Do we know them?
Mischief Management.
Oh, okay. Mm-mm.
It's-
That
I'm
should tell you everything you need to know about the weekend right there, huh?
Well, anyway, so if you so comments, it's Romance Con, right?
Romance Con.
Romance Con. And I think you can just look it up, or you can do it on Facebook or whatever, because it came up. I was telling somebody about it. So you can find it there. And if you're close, like me, slide through. They have a couple of different sets of tickets or whatever.
And we'll be there the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Oh,
Okay, well, I'm not gonna hang out with y'all. If I come, I'm not gonna hang out the whole weekend because I know I can't do that. But I'm gonna try to do a day because that's a day
just
trip.
let us know. Just let us know what day you
Yeah.
come.
I think it's gonna be, what is the day? Do they have Friday and Saturday are book signings?
Days. Yep.
Okay,
Friday.
but do you see one set of authors on Friday and one set of authors on Saturday?
We'll be both days the whole time.
Both
Okay.
days.
I think it's probably gonna be Saturday for me, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you. It's Tuesday night, not Friday night. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you've enjoyed our chat. And be looking out for the next set of books. And let me know if y'all want to, have a little private chat. Get our hearts and our minds together. We can do that because we're book buddies. And then purchase your books on the respective websites and get your signed copy. Because let me tell you, if you have not already seen those covers, they are kind of one for the memorabilia. You might want them on your shelf. They're shelf worthy, I think. So, all right, good night. Have yourself a lovely old night, and please be kind to yourself and others always. Bye bye for now.
You might as well say, "May the
Bye.
Lord watch between me and thee." While we're
I know,
But yes,
right?
we do want the Lord to watch between me and thee because there's a lot of stuff going on.
It was giving me holiday vibes. That's what I was feeling. I was like, I like it.
All right, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.